Hello, everyone. Today I'm here to present to you my final capstone project, The Benefits of Electronic Portfolios. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Kayla Brown, and I am currently a fifth grade teacher at Sarah Hart Mentor Elementary in Fayette County, Georgia, and I am working to receive my Master's of Instructional Technology. A little bit more about our school. We are a Leader in Me school, which means we focus on Stephen Covey's 7 habits to become a leader. We believe that all students have leadership qualities, and when working towards the 7 habits and the leader paradigms, they can all become a leader. As part of being a Leader in Me school, we are focused on goal setting. The problem that promoted this project was the lack of technology being used to track students' academic and personal goals. Students create academic goals at the beginning of each school year based on the grade level's end of year benchmark data. Once students have created their goal, they then create a plan on how to achieve it. Students in grades kindergarten through fifth grade complete this process 3 times a year in August, December, and in May. Each time, they evaluate their current progress and adjust their goal as needed. Not only do students track their academic goals, but also personal goals. These goals could be to achieve a honor roll, make the soccer team, complete their homework every night, or just to keep their room clean. Once the goal setting process was completed, students would record their data on paper made goal sheets, similar to the one you see here on the screen. These sheets were provided by the teacher for both the academic and student personal goals. The goal sheets would not only include the data, but also how students would achieve the goal, how they would know if they were progressing towards the goal, and how, in achieving this goal, it would benefit their academic success. Once these data sheets were completed, students would place them into a portfolio that they would use throughout their elementary school career, which means the same portfolio they were using in fifth grade was the one that they had been using since kindergarten. As you can imagine, these data sheets often got lost, and then there wasn't much content within the portfolio. When the students would lose their data sheets, they would become frustrated and have to start over using all of the work and the data that they had been collecting. These portfolios also got very messy. They were also only limited to school use, which means students weren't able to share their data and progress with parents because the portfolios were only limited to being accessible at school, which prompted my plan for the electronic portfolio. My plan was to create an electronic tool that teachers and students could use as an electronic portfolio, as you see here. I used many of Jim Knight's suggestions in his book, The Impact Cycle, when deciding to do this project. My goal was to partner with teachers to help them improve teaching and learning so that their students could become more successful. By initiating the use of an electronic portfolio, it would allow for students to share their progress beyond the classroom and showcase their accomplishments. It is important for students to make connections between their work, their goals, and strategies for learning it. This allows them the ownership of their learning experience. Students need the opportunity to reflect on their learning and be given the opportunity to explore how their learning affects the outcomes of their goals. When using paper made portfolios, students were limited in the reflection process, and this was not incorporated. When students do not reflect on the learning process, it can lead to a lack of interaction and dialogue between the student and the teacher. By incorporating electronic portfolios regularly and consistently, students will be required to use dialogue and collaborate when using electronic portfolios. The success of my capstone project was determined based off of 4 fifth grade teachers at Sarah Hart Mentor successfully implementing electronic portfolios within their classrooms. There were 3 main objectives that these teachers needed to achieve to determine if the project was a success. Objective number 1: the teachers would be coached on the benefits of using electronic portfolios. Coaching logs would be used to show discussions at sessions, teachers' thoughts, and ideas. Forms were provided to indicate the next steps that myself, the coach, and the teacher would need to take in order to achieve this specific objective. And there was an electronic portfolio template that I created, which you've already seen, that was used and designed by myself and presented to the teachers to use as a guide to help in the implementation of electronic portfolios. Objective number 2 was for these four same fifth grade teachers to have transitioned at least 80% of their students from the paper made portfolio to the electronic portfolios. Logs, forms, and templates were continued to be provided throughout the process to monitor their progress. The I do, we do, you do checklist was also provided. This particular checklist allowed teachers to receive specific guided instruction on how to effectively implement the portfolios with their students. The final objective, number three, was that 80% of the fifth grade students would have created and produced an electronic portfolio. The four fifth grade teachers were asked to produce lesson plans that showed their implementation and usage of these portfolios. Surveys were also given to students to evaluate electronic portfolio usage and to evaluate their opinion on using these types of portfolios versus the paper made ones they had used in the past. Similar to the other two objectives, coaching sessions, checklists, and forms were also used to determine if the objective had been achieved. So let's talk about the experience of this project. The experience started during the 2021-2022 school year. We started in August, where teachers gained the knowledge and understanding of electronic portfolios and the benefits of using them in the classroom. Through many coaching sessions from August through October, teachers gained confidence and felt prepared to implement these into their classrooms. Starting in October of 2021, students were introduced to the electronic portfolio and began adding their data to them. This project continued throughout the school year, and students built their portfolios customized to their data. In May of 2022, students had completed portfolios and participated in student led conferences. The fifth grade teachers were very on board with the electronic portfolios. They were excited to get rid of the paper versions and voiced that they were tired of students losing the important data, trying to find additional copies for new students, and liked how not having a paper version would free up space in the students' desks. One teacher in particular was excited about the thought, but was nervous and apprehensive about the transition and learning how to implement an electronic version. However, the coaching sessions proved to be successful and allowed these teachers to gain the new knowledge in this area of electronic portfolio. The student transition was also great. It went much better than we expected. They were excited to have their own online portfolio, as you can see here, and they could create and make it their very own. Many were able to showcase their technical expertise and enjoyed showing their progress online. We also saw benefits to our lower level learners, which is an example of what you're seeing here. Taking out the writing component from the paper version gave these students more confidence. They were able to use assistive technology to help create their portfolios. This gave them the freedom to express their goals without the pressure of having to write. The results came out wonderfully. Students' creations far exceeded our expectation, and the quality of their work was substantially better than the paper made versions. Here, you can see examples of students showcasing their portfolios to their parents during the student led conference. The teachers were also very appreciative and very impressed with students' quality of work. They also appreciated how students could work on these portfolios as an early finisher task. Students spent a lot of time making their portfolios their very own and liked having the control over their portfolios. Another added benefit was that no data was lost and that students created much more thoughtful work. Here you can see the four fifth grade teachers along with myself and their thoughts about the digital notebooks and the positivity that they came from them. I would invite you to pause this presentation now and read through some of their comments as they are very reflective of their opinions over this project. The parent feedback was also very positive. They appreciated being able to view their child's data in real time, and some even checked on it throughout the year. I would also invite you to pause the screen now to read some real parent feedback from our students this year and what they thought about the student led conference and the online data portfolio. As a reminder, this was the first time these parents were actually getting to see their child's portfolios in person because the paper made versions were only limited to school. So parents really were impressed that their child had built these portfolios and made it their very own and they could see their data. I was very pleased with how this project turned out. I was a bit apprehensive about how the fifth grade teachers would receive this idea, but was pleasantly surprised with how receptive they were. Seeing how excited the students were about the transition from paper to the web was motivating to me as well. The work in creating the electronic template and training the teachers and then the students was a bit time consuming in the beginning. There was a lot more work than I had initially anticipated. However, once the students understood what we were doing, it went much more smoothly. Creating the electronic portfolios solved many of the paper made portfolio problems. It was encouraging to see that the simple idea helped to make teachers' lives easier while improving the quality of student work and performance. Everybody really appreciated seeing students work in real time. By having the portfolios online, students' data was at their fingertips and could be accessed anytime if needed at school or at home. This served to be especially beneficial during student conferences, parent conferences, and during special education meetings. None of this could have been possible without the help of these four groups of people. The first is Dr. Matthew Wilson, who helped in the creation of this capstone proposal and approved it. The next is Dr. Stacy Capola and Mr. Eric Falkenhagen, who are my two administrators who supported me in implementing this into our school and were encouraging and supported throughout the entire process. The next group is the fabulous fifth grade team who were so willing and open to trying this new idea, who shared their thoughts and their opinions and initiated and implemented this project flawlessly. And finally, to the fifth grade students of 2022, they were very excited, receptive, and rolled with the punches and were super excited to try this new way of data portfolios. Thank you so much for your time today, and I hope that you were able to see the benefits of electronic portfolios.